Hey, welcome back guys. In today's video I've gone through the brand new Apex Legends Defiance launch trailer scene by scene to have a look at all the hidden details that are in the actual trailer. So I'm going to go through all that in this video, including Maggie's abilities, which were leaked in the trailer. You can actually see a couple of her abilities in the trailer, which were really interesting. I'll come on to that in a second. But to start off with, we're going to look at the opening scene with the code and what that means. So before I go any further into the video, if you haven't seen the actual trailer, I recommend seeing it. The official link is in the description below. Go watch that first, then come back to me afterwards just to have a look, just so you got a bit of an idea. Or if you don't want to watch it, then fine. But anyway, let's go into this now. So to start off with, you're going to be looking at this really interesting machine. Now, the machine itself uses phase technology, just like Wraith. And the reason we know that is because it's got some triangles here, and even on the writing it says phase technology. And again, it comes onto this later on in the trailer when the entirety of Olympus is teleported into a new location. But whilst we look at this scene here, we got a bit of information. So the first interesting bit we've got is a guy called Damien. We know Eduardo Silva. If you didn't know, Eduardo Silva is Octane's dad. I've done a bit of research since, and it's confirmed in the video later on. But Damien is the guy that he's basically speaking to. I do wonder if Damien's also the one which is doing all the hacking on the screen that you can see. In addition to that as well, Eduardo Silva mentions Jimmy McCormick, which, if you weren't aware, that is Fuse. Although they mentioned he's long gone, but I actually think he'll probably come back in the future, but we'll see about that. So let's actually talk now about the text which you can see on the screen. I've paused every bit of scene. I've literally had to zoom in really close to try and read it, and I do have a bit of knowledge as well of some coding myself, so I can kind of understand it in an easy way. So you can actually see on there that he's accessing the Olympus database as well. You can see that he's trying to do a manual override, and there's one bit in there which is really interesting. I don't know what this means, but it mentions Seer::admin. So what that is he's obviously trying to log in using maybe Seer's location. And if you didn't realize as well, Seer wasn't in the video, which is kind of interesting. So I do wonder if there's something there as well. And if you also notice, it also says on the text that the location is Stormpoint. Well, we haven't got Seer and we haven't got Stormpoint. So what if Seer is on Stormpoint? I don't really know, but this is a bit of a theory here. What if he's involved? So I'm going to move on now about a bit more of the text as well. One of the things it mentions about an alias called the Mongeras. I don't know what that means. And it also says about access.syndicate.mke here. I think it says _capture. I suppose that could reference maybe the brand new game mode. I don't really know. You can also see in the video as well that the access is denied once, and then on the second time it initiates the enhanced protocol. Then it mentions something about an atomic emit. And then it mentions about accessing the phase driver, something else about MKO Boro, I don't know what that means, and then it does finally mention that the phase driver access is granted, which is really interesting because that is obviously how they were able to phase Olympus out. So that's what all the code is basically telling you about. So after Maggie's badass biting scene, by the way, she really likes biting, doesn't she? But after that scene, you can see her basically escape from the plane. She has a bit of a runaround, gets underground, and she ends up in Eduardo's lair. But you get a brief glimpse of his screen, and it says the phase driver power systems have been connected, the access has been granted, and the program name is Defiance. So the actual season, Defiant, is all named under the program itself, which is being run by Eduardo or whoever's running the code to basically move Olympus. Now the next bit I'm going to come on to is one of what I think is Maggie's ability. Now this happens in actual different parts of the game where you get to see Maggie have sort of like a red glow effect around her. Now this happens in multiple parts of the trailer, and I really noticed this bit on multiple times, so I think this is one of her abilities. As you can see here, on multiple times in these elements and parts of the trailer, this is when the red glow happens. And in addition to that, after she gets that red glow, you can see Maggie claw at Eduardo Silva's face. Now, one little small detail you probably wouldn't have seen unless you pause the scene is Eduardo Silva now has a sort of scratch mark under his eye. He's got a physical injury, a scar from Mad Maggie, so that means that could appear in any future trailer from here on out. And one other small detail you probably would have noticed is, if you didn't, then it's pretty funny. You might have seen Mad Maggie as she was going up the lift. She did give the finger to Eduardo, but they did blur that bit out. So the next bit is that you obviously see Maggie getting up on board and they see the machine. Everybody is starting to blame her, thinking she is the one responsible. So we don't know what's led up to that. Maybe that Eduardo said, oh, look, it's Maggie. But just as they start getting teleported, one thing which I found interesting is you see the scene here with Loba in is really, really difficult to see. But I think Loba gets crushed. She's either behind the thing or she does get crushed. I don't really know what happened. In addition to that thing possibly crushing Loba as well, there is one other thing which got teleported, which I noticed, which was the bonsai building. So that does mean we might end up getting some more building sort of themes to Olympus. After this scene here, you get to see Maggie basically running away from all the carnage of stuff being teleported, and you may have noticed this detail, but basically she jumps and she teleports into a brand new location away from the danger. If you weren't aware of this bit, it is probably one of the phase portals, basically like Wraith. Whilst we're on the conversation topic of portals, where was Ash? I didn't see her one bit. And after Maggie basically jumps through the portal, you then get her meted by Octane and Lifeline. And you might have noticed as well, behind Octane looks to be part of a new map. It looks to be a new area. I don't think I recognise this bit again, but that was quite interesting. And then we did get another confirmation of that ability I mentioned earlier on. The next bit includes a fight between Fuse and Maggie, a long time fight that they've been waiting for some time. Now in this fight here, at the very, very end, you see Fuse being hit by a ball. It was really quick, but if you notice, I think that was Maggie throwing another one of her abilities at Fuse. So I think that is your second ability leaked into this introduction. And to be honest, that is all I've got for you in this video. It was a really, really epic trailer, and hopefully you guys noticed something which I didn't notice, or you may have learned something in this video that I didn't notice. Anyway guys, I'll see you next time. Until then, bye.